So I understand the heightened security and the need for the security detail, but the just flatly taking the $9,000 a year, I mean, isn't that something where, you know, some of that should go back if you're getting a ride everywhere for weeks on end, which is, you know, what we have footage of?
Well, it's not getting a ride. I mean, you're making it sound like these gentlemen are Uber drivers. This is my my executive protection. I've had several death threats beginning the start of my administration, and so the investigators recommend and make the decisions when and where I need escort to and from my home and at events. I accept the allowance because I do use my vehicle. As you can see, I'm driving my vehicle.
You started to use it again after we reached out for an interview.
I've been using my vehicle ever since I started here, particularly, for example, like COVID. I mean, I was driving myself in practically every day when my staff was at home. There are other events. I'm the DA 24/7, so there are certainly events where I use my vehicle after hours as part of my job. If you've done the research, you have discovered there is no county rule that regulates or prohibits the amount of the executive protection that I have. And so, I was informed and advised at the beginning that the county allows me to accept an allowance in addition to using this executive protection.
But how often are you using it?
I'm not going to get into the schedule. I'm not going to get into how often this happens. It's a matter of security.
But you're comfortable accepting a flat fee even though there are years where you're not using your vehicle nearly as much as other years?
Again, the county allows me to, at my discretion, determine how much to use this security detail or not. I have been advised.
It's your discretion.
Yes.
Pete said it was your security detail who decides not you.
No. I'm talking about the use, the amount of the use I have with the vehicle, the combination of my personal vehicle in addition to executive protection. I think the public would understand that I'm the only county official that makes decisions that are literally life and death. We send people to prison. What happens every day at this courthouse doesn't make a lot of people happy, and because of that, I have been targets of multiple death threats. We actually had to lock down my home for a period of several days because one of those individuals that had threatened to kill me actually figured out where I lived. So that's the level of security that I have to live with, and that's why we have this combination that I use.
Two quick things, I'll let you go. One, we do not have any footage of you at your house, so that letter you had sent to our general manager, I mean, was from a place of, and we wouldn't show that anyways, but we don't have any footage of that.
Well, thank you. That makes me feel better because, this is something that I signed up for, but my family didn't. And I would hope that you all would never compromise the safety of my family.
Well, we didn't. So this letter was based off of false accusations. So.
Well, no, it was based on an anticipation of the kind of stories.
We'll sit down and talk to us, and we would tell you what we have and what we don't.
If you would accurately report what I tell you, I would. But there's been many times, Dylan.
Okay, what's been inaccurate about my reporting now? Here we go.
Well, for example, we had an interview about a year ago of pretrial diversion. I gave you a 15-minute interview and talked about all the positive things about pretrial diversion, and you ran 5 seconds and covered 3 individuals of the many people involved in pretrial diversion.
So that's not inaccurate.
I'm not done.
There
are many stories where I've given you some information and you cut and paste and only use what you would like to use. The story about the toxic environment, remember that? There were 47 interviews and you focused on 3 out of 47. So you're not going to tell me that you're not very selective about the stories.
We don't do stories on planes that land at the airport. We do the stories on the planes that crash.
But you know what's wrong with that? When you report that the crash is because of pilot error and it's not, that's when it's unfair.
So you think you were unfairly portrayed as the reason for...
I think it happens all the time with you in this station. And then it's happening now with the car allowance. Again, if you'd have done the research,
I haven't even done the story yet. Well, you don't even know.
Well, because what are you intimidating? Why am I accepting?
I'm not intimidated about anything.
No. What are you intimating? Yes, that's what. Okay. What are you intimating? What are you suggesting that there's something improper about me accepting a car allowance when
Taxpayers may not like that you accept the car allowance while getting a ride, being with your security detail, start, end of the day.
Well, it's not a matter of convenience, it's a matter of security. I'm not doing it because I don't want to drive. I'm doing it because my life has been placed in danger on multiple occasions for the last 5 years.
And
that's
I think
part
you
of my
spoke well
job.
about that
well,
today.
I mean,
I
that's
think,
why.
yeah,
That's
that's a
why.
good and I will include
why
that.
is it? Why is it a story? Why? Because you don't think a district attorney.
Some will view it as a.
well,
no, I don't.
okay.
Again, you, Pete, for weeks have gone with this. Well, he needs a security detail. I totally get that.
Okay.
Don't accept the car allowance if you're not driving your car.
Well, but the point is, I am driving my car,
And
I don't. Say, here's the other thing you have to understand. I work for the citizens in Bexar County. I don't work for Dillon Collier. I don't work for KSAT.
I am a
don't have
citizen
to-
of Bexar
Well, I
County. You do
understand,
work
but
for
you
me.
are one. You are one of 2 million people. And if you don't like how I'm doing my job, then when re-election comes along, guess what? You can show up and you can vote for my opponent. But I'm doing the job that the citizens of Bexar County elected me to do. I think we're doing a good job. You don't ever report on the fact that, now we have the highest conviction rate on murders that we've had in 13 years. You don't report about that. You don't report. You all reported about the backlog. You're not reporting that we've reduced the backlog by 22%. You're not reporting that we have the highest felony DWI conviction rate that we've had in years. How come you guys don't ever make an effort to report positive stories? That's my frustration with you guys.